Hello, everybody! Anime Reflux! Woo!
Oh boy, look at this fellow. So
Not sure
excited
how
for his
not
anime show.
not sure how legit that enthusiasm is, but you know what? It's Tuesday. Well, Tuesday to us. That's a good thing to be excited about. Let's get excited, guys.
It
Yeah.
Let's do
sounded
it.
it sounded like 70% genuine, I'd say.
Well, that's like. I've had 7 hours of sleep, but split up in the past 24 hours, so it's, a little. But,
Oh, that's terrible.
I'm game. I'm up for it. So,
So
fuck it.
today we watched Onegai Twins.
Which
Yeah.
basically is please twins. Which
Yeah.
sounds
That-
scary.
That title and that cover image, which is, it's going to be on the video, so you'll know what I'm talking about. They lied to me a little bit.
Yeah, they did. They lied to you like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'll tell you more later.
So, yeah. Cliff Notes, this show is a show about a dude and, I'm going to say, a girl who see some footage of an old house that they used to live at on the news. So they go check it out, and the girl is convinced that she is the twin of the dude.
And the
Dude's been
dude
living there for like a year.
Yeah.
The evidence is in this photograph of us both naked as children. Clearly it's us.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
And also that we have the same color eyes. And
That's a big plot point, actually, the same color eyes.
yeah, and plot twist. I say girl, there are two of them. So
Yeah.
everything I
Which
just
one-
said for the guy and the girl, yeah, it could double it, essentially.
Which one is your sister? Which one is accidental incest? Find out next time.
This
Which-
is straight up incest Russian roulette. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, which
Yeah,
one is
it's-
actually turns out to be lying through her teeth? I don't know quite what the implication is for the one that isn't your sister.
Maybe mistaken or something else, but I don't know. You gotta find out which one's your sister and which one.
Full deniability.
Yeah. So this guy's he's a high school student, lives on his own, does work as a programmer. He got like a pretty generous contract to be able to just be a lone programmer and still be able to support himself and own a house.
This is the second time I've seen that.
I don't know if he owns it, but even like renting a house is like super expensive, especially in Japan. So
It's actually mentioned why he can do that is because it's somebody saw an alien at the house or some shit, so he got it for super cheap.
Yeah, he got it like it had a bunch of bad like public image around it, so he was able to kind of get it, and it was also kind of trashed. So he could buy it for much less than it was worth, and spent like 2 months refurbishing it.
also he bought it.
That's kind of the implication, yeah.
Yeah.
So how the hell is he having trouble supporting himself on a programmer's salary then?
The cost. I mean, maybe he got a loan for the house. I don't know.
Cost of living. Apparently, he hadn't really ever done it before, lived by himself. So there's that.
Okay.
And the fact there's
I
not
don't know if he
extra
still
people
has a
living.
mortgage or anything that he has to make, but he's got bills to pay.
Now he's got two extra mystery bitches living with him, so there's that too.
Yeah, he's like, I could let this girl live with me, but no, I barely able to feed myself. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, first episode starts with like I say, seeing the footage on the TV, and there is a monologue of him and both of the girls seeing it and being like, "Hey, I used to live there," and such.
Yeah.
And next scene, basically, it just establishes all the things we just said. So he is going to school on his scooter, as in the rideable one, not the shitty micro scooter, like the The one you think of
So
when you
he
think
can-
of Japanese transit.
So he can afford a house and a scooter and the gas for the scooter and the license for the scooter and a helmet. But he's just skating by, just getting by a little bit.
The helmet's your breaking point.
He's just barely feeding himself, just barely.
Listen, he splurged on that stuff. Now he doesn't know the value of money. He's young. He
He's
has
made
his-
poor financial decisions.
Yeah, he's a
Now
hot
he
shot
knows the value of money. I
He's a
guess
hot
is the
shot
implication.
programmer. Now he's broke as fuck. He's like, I need to tighten my belt. Oh no, where'd these mystery bitches come from? Now what am I gonna do?
He's really proud of coming up with mystery bitches, isn't he?
I am.
I thought as
I'm
much.
really happy with that too.
Is that going to be our subtitle for this episode?
Maybe. I'm not the one writing it.
So, yeah. I'm glad we got the happy fun times bit out of it because the next scene has sexual assault. So,
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
yeah, so he's riding to school on his scooter. There is a train passing with a girl that looks kind of like the doll from the Sabrina episodes of Pokemon.
She has like turquoise hair and shit.
Yep.
Oh god, I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah, when she shows up at the house and that she looks up under the bonnet of the hat, and I'm like, oh.
What is this, a crossover episode?
Clearly she's the fake.
I mean, that didn't instill a lot of faith in me, seeing that.
So, anyway, she's riding past on a train. No one cares about her. She doesn't show up until the end of the episode. So, he's, driving down the street, and there's a car that passes on the other side, and we see inside the car where the guy driving decides to try and cop a feel under her
There's
trousers?
a girl hitchhiking with him, and
Yeah.
so he decides to, have a wandering hand, and
What is it, ass, gas, or grass? And he decides on ass, apparently.
Yeah, and Kenchi's typing up the God, Kenchi, really? I'm not
say-
quoting that.
You don't have to.
So, patience here, by the way.
Well,
oh,
he gets
joy.
to see that.
Okay.
he's on the call, but he's in the he'll be in the chat and see that.
So, yeah, she's like, no, get off me. And he's like, no, really, I'm just going to keep trying this even while I'm driving, even though you're clearly not into it. At which point she legitimately goes, get the fuck off me, and starts trying to fight him off, which he complains about because, hey, I'm driving, what the hell, you're so inconsiderate.
Okay, I don't know about the sub, but this is the point where the voice actor... I watched the dub, by the way. The rest of the guys watched the sub. The driver of the car in the dub completely switches voices. Like, he goes from senator to, like, child in about 5 seconds.
Amazing.
And then just, like, squeals and complains. And it's weird.
Yeah, so she fights him off, and that causes him to skid and drive the car off the road. So, Scooter Dude, I think his name's Mike.
Yeah. It's Maiku in Japan, so they just short it to Mike.
Mike.
Well, I think it mentioned that he's half or something.
Yeah, he's half Japanese, so
So Mike actually does make sense, and that's probably what it's supposed to be. So he stops and gets the girl to a place where she can wash her feet or something.
Base.
Yeah, when they crashed the car, they crashed into like a field, and by crashed I mean like they spun out. It like the car didn't flip or anything, so she had dirty ankles or something. How scandalous!
And for some reason, our chivalrous protagonist decides to say, "I don't feel sorry for you" or anything.
Japan.
Is that what he says in the sub?
He's
Jesus.
like,
Yeah.
I find it hard to feel pity for you, and I think the implication is
What the fuck are you doing out here by yourself, hitchhiking? You're like,
yeah, you're hitchhiking with random people. You kind of set yourself up for a bad situation, is what I think it's trying to get across. But boy, it comes across as callous.
He's a little gentler in the dub, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Is like, dude, you're just kind of setting yourself up for this. Like, what were you thinking? He's kind of an asshole, but he's not that bad in the dub.
Yeah. So that whole situation seemingly handled. He, I guess, leaves her on the side of the road and goes back to going to school.
As you do.
Yeah. Gets to school, gets confronted by... he goes to see the teacher who's like, hey, you were late again.
7th time this month.
Yeah. That's not okay. I forget what happens in this scene because it was completely inconsequential if you're not going to watch another episode, which I wasn't.
Like, oh, well, living alone must be hard. And he's like, nah, I can handle it. And apparently this show is also linked to another thing created by the author called Onegai Sensei. And the sensei he sees is from that. So
yeah, she asks if he's eating right and then invites him over for dinner, and then I forget, he just turns her down basically, and I forget how, but
she's like, hey, maybe I can come over and make dinner for you, take care of you. And he's like, you have a husband, so just like focus on making him happy, essentially.
And then cutscene to presumably the husband who sneezes, which I assume is connected to that other thing that Zero just told us about. So
yeah, that was a student, by the way.
Yeah, that was a student. That absolutely was. So
again, if this is linked to Onegai Sensei, I'm assuming it's about... I don't know what Onegai Sensei is, but I'm assuming it's about seducing the teacher, so...
But out of context, it just makes you stop and go, wait, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah, there's no context here. I was really confused.
Yeah.
No, I was really confused as well until I started looking at some of the comments for the thing.
Yeah, so that was weird. Then he gets confronted by a student council member who, supposed to be the nerdy kind of cute, I guess.
Don't beat around the bush. She wants the D.
Yeah.
She really does. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Hey, scooters aren't allowed, and it's just like, it's the only way I can get to school.
But it'd be our little secret if you do a little something for me.
That's basically exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that little something is to do all of the budgeting for the entire school, basically.
Yeah, she asked him to be like the financial person or the treasurer or whatever. Not even the treasurer, just do all the books. Like,
But in exchange, you can I'll make lunch for you or go on a date with you. And it's like, well, the date lasts once, so the lunch thing is like for 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he basically says, "Nah, bitch." To that offer.
He says, I'll take the lunch, please.
Yep. That's what happened. And then we see the student council president, who was hiding behind a cabinet for some reason. And she is the kind of creepy archetype for this type of character.
Okay, what kind of voice did she have in the sub? Because this is where the dub falls apart. Her voice
kind of Ray-like,
kind of monotone-ish,
emotionless.
Yeah,
a little bit like
Ray,
a little bit like smirky, but like.
Okay, yeah, they tried to do that in the dub and it didn't work very well. Like the actress put too much emotion into it. Like they were trying for deadpan, but it didn't really work.
I don't even know what that sounds like.
I don't know whether that classes as good or bad at
deadpan.
acting, where you're trying not to emote in any way, shape, or form, which is, a lot of actors' problems when they're starting out, and she's failing at it. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It was bad because she was putting the wrong emotion into it.
All you have to do
Okay,
to
that
be
pretty much
monotone is just keep your voice level. It's really easy.
It doesn't take much effort at all to do that.
No. Anyways.
Casey's better at it than you are, Zero.
Yeah, well, I need practice because I don't talk monotone at all.
Yeah,
I love emotion.
You love life too much.
Yeah.
Casey's just been beaten down by the system. The world at large.
That is largely my situation, yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Anyway, so What were you talking? Yeah, the student council president is there, and she's like, "Hey, you won the D or something." I think.
Yeah, pretty much. That's just
And then Vice President's like, no. It's like, yeah, you want the D. You know, he's single because he's a programmer and he needs to actually focus on work and not other things. She's like, really? It's like, that's not an opportunity. That's he has higher priorities.
Yeah, but he has higher priorities, which means he might not be taking care of himself well. And maybe that's why he decided to take the lunches instead of the date, which means maybe he just needs someone to take care of him, so I could do that and move into his house and just take care of him and be like his wife, maybe.
And then sleep in his bed.
so you're saying there's a
Lick
chance.
his toes or some shit.
Okay. All right.
Slice of it.
Listen, please.
So, next scene. I think the next thing is back home, and he's doing the programming and the typing, and it actually does have code parsing in there, so that's, good job on that.
Yeah, like that was actual coding. I don't know what kind, because I don't do that, but yeah.
And then he gets a call. Hey, deadline's moved up. Okay, bye, love you. And he's like, oh.
Asshole.
It's like, yeah, that's not the kind of love I want.
Bitch, you're lucky you pay me.
Yeah.
And then he gets a knock on the door, and it's the same girl from before. That
The redhead one that almost got assaulted inside a dude's 6'4".
She's like, I think when he answers the door, she's like, hey, what a coincidence. What the fuck are you doing here? He's like, this is my house. What the hell are you doing here?
So, yeah, it turns out that she came from an orphanage, and all she really had with her was that picture of the two naked kids playing out in front of the house. And so she's been searching her whole life for this house, but she saw it in the news, and so that was her incentive to go and seek it out, because she could finally know where it was.
Yeah.
And apparently she believes, we're probably twins. I think I'm your twin sister, and I want to live here because this is also kind of my house I was born in.
And the music swells, and he's like, really? You really believe that? Yes, I believe that with all my heart, Slam.
Get the fuck off my property, bitch.
Kudos for a good moment.
Yeah. You may think this house is yours, but I'm the one who pays the bills, so...
I appreciate how much of an asshole Mike is. Like, he's having
Sometimes.
none of this.
Yeah, and so eventually it kind of lets her in.
They
I
compare
really feel-
photographs, they have the same photograph.
Yeah, same eyes, lots of similarities, and I swear I was expecting him to say, okay, you can stay here, just pay rent, because I'm poor. Pay rent.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't, actually.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't have a job or anything, and actually no connections because she's from somewhere else entirely, so...
Yeah, they get to that at some point.
That is a fair point.
Pay rent. Pay me. You can live here if you pay me.
Waiting for patient's comment there. He's a type, and he's got something to say.
It's probably nothing good after what I typed beforehand. That's just what he came in on. Like,
Oh, no,
okay.
he can jump in here. I don't know if he wants to jump in here.
I'm pretty sure I got the worst that I'm going to get out of me. So, I don't know about Slicer, but I
Well,
got
no,
the
we're
worst
about to
out
hit
of
the
me.
bath scene, so...
Yeah. So,
So, if I'm gonna blame someone, put the blame where it belongs.
Whatever.
Go for it.
okay. So, let's continue. The
So-
bath scenes. Yeah.
Is
She's
it the
like,
bath
oh,
scenes, or does she cook for him first? I forget.
I think
she cooks for him first because they're still in bath towels after the last bit.
And she's like, hey, I don't have to convince you to let me stay. And he's like, I'm thinking about it. It's really good. I'm thinking about it. I'm hungry.
Yeah. So then I guess I don't think anything else happens.
I
aside from-
don't even remember this part.
Yeah, it was, scene
there
that
was
didn't
there
really
was
go
at one point a quick cut to the green-haired girl, and she made friends with a strange mascot creature who I don't understand.
Oh yeah,
Oh, right,
Sabrina found a psychic Pokemon and caught it. So
Yeah,
cannot let go of the
that about
connection.
sums it up.
yeah. So it's bath time, and she goes first. And it's actually fairly tasteful. For this type of show. Then
She gets out of the bath, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm getting seduced by my own, maybe not, almost, kind of, might be sister."
Well, she might be.
But
Can
she
I-
might not.
Can I plead ignorant if she is? Because I didn't know that at the time.
Luke
Also,
and
she's
Leia.
kind
Luke
of
and Leia.
hot.
That's my argument here.
So, yeah, she goes and he goes into the bath and she offers to wash his back and he's like, no. And he's in the middle of washing up when there's a doorbell. And she's like, I'll get it. He's like,
well, not in my house.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so she's just wearing a shirt and doesn't seem to be wearing pants. And he's just wearing a bath towel around his waist.
A very loose towel.
And they squabble over going to answer the door. And he's like, this is my house, bitch. You don't touch the door when people has come to the door.
Why is this his character according to us now? Like, this is not who...
It's
He doesn't
like,
say bitch and shit. That's just us.
no.
Like,
It's kind of implied. I mean, it
Right,
really is.
yeah.
if you answer this door and it's somebody from school, we're gonna have a lot of questions here, and I can't really justify that you're my sister because we don't know ourselves.
Yeah. So they squabble and end up falling over.
Touches the breast of his maybe not sister.
Naturally, because anime. So he
And
immediately
his towel
stands up.
falls off.
He doesn't get punched though. Plus, that's
This
a
is
plus.
true, actually. I didn't notice that at the time, but that's fantastic.
Yeah, none of the punching. So he gets up and the towel falls off, and he's like, sorry, not noticing. And
quit looking at it.
Yep, eyes directly pointing downwards.
No, the whole time, too. She does not look away.
Yep.
Hey, no shame to her game.
I wonder if it looks back. So,
No, stop. Okay, he answers the door. It's the green-haired girl. She's real what? Seeing seeing the half-naked guy and the girl with no pants just kind of there, and kind of just faints.
yeah, pretty much.
She
Shocked.
mutters "new," and apparently that's a running thing. Whenever she passes out, which is often, she mutters "new."
Yeah.
That's in the dub as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then
Silly
she passes
noise is
out,
not so much a Western thing.
and then she has her little Pokemon friend be like,
Who she
"What?"
drops callously.
Well, it's Sabrina, so.
And so it's like, well, I guess this person's claiming to be my sister too.
Probably.
Oh, no.
We don't actually know yet.
So, I guess. Well, yeah, no, she said so at the door.
Oh.
That she used to live there, and the whole premise of the show is that one might be your sister, one is not your sister. So
They both might not be your sister.
Figure out which. I read in the comments. Apparently, there is confirmed that one is actually the sister, but you don't find out until the end of the show, because apparently it takes that long to save up enough money for a blood test.
Yeah, they go over that later. It's stupid expensive. And he's
Yeah, it is expensive. So that's, I guess, the whole premise of the show is making money. So pay rent.
I looked up the wiki. Do you want me to just tell you which one it is, or?
Well,
Tell us after we've done the rolling, so people can, if they want to check out this show, they can. Yeah.
Yeah,
fair enough.
tell us after we stop recording so we can just know. I'm pretty sure I know which one it is.
Yeah.
No, you can
All
tell
right.
us I'm recording, but we'll just spoiler warning it. And just if anyone actually cares.
Yeah,
That'll
we'll do that later.
So, yeah, this was a thing.
It was okay. I mean, the voice acting was aged poorly, but hey, Johnny Young Bosch.
You didn't
good.
actually say on recording that. Yeah, this is one of Johnny Young Bosch's early roles.
Yes, it is. His voice is his voice, so it was good. But the words he was given to say were not great.
He didn't develop the stroke to freestyle his own scripts yet, so this is what he got.
I think this was in the era where they had to match their voices to the lip flaps, and it showed. Everything is
They
kind of weirdly
still do
stilted
that,
as far as
but-
timing
Yeah,
goes.
they still do that. They just got better at it.
Fun.
Hmm.
All right. Yeah, it was actually I don't know, red, orange-haired girl. She actually did a fantastic job. Like, her voice was way better.
Oh,
Or at least she had more freedom to act, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. So
All right.
this was not as bad as I was expecting. Not as fan service as I was
Yeah.
expecting, like by a long shot. But
I mean, you could see her breasts in the shower. I was kind of surprised to see that. Like, uncensored, too. And this was on YouTube for me.
Yeah, it really doesn't get any worse than that as far as I've seen.
Yeah, I was actually just kind of, I guess, for the first half, I was pretty bored. There were some good moments in the second half, but it's nothing enough for me to want to follow up on the series.
I'll admit, the only reason I was kept entertained for the first half was I was just imagining him randomly start attacking hollows. Like, it's just him going off to fight Shinigami or something. I don't
oh
know.
shit! In secret, Sabrina was in a wrong car all this time.
it's like they open the door and it starts like, "Hi, I'm your sister." Then her mouth opens up into like she shoots a Sarah out of her mouth, and the whole house goes away, just blown up. It just becomes bleach.
And the other one's a Quincy because she's kind of annoying. So
Yeah.
Wacky hijinks.
It's a romantic comedy with a Shinigami, a Quincy, and a Hollow.
I mean,
Where will
and
this
And
go?
then the vice president, it turns out, is Totsuki, and she's just completely ignored for the rest of the show.
Wow.
It's very
Oh,
sad.
that hurts.
Well, Supernatural is in the title or of a listing of things for the show. You don't know. You didn't watch the rest of it.
It's true, I didn't. So, there you go. So,
I bet
yeah,
you the
I mean-
green-haired girl's an alien or something.
Would you guys say this is worth watching? I feel it's too aged to really... I don't know.
Yeah, it's not really great.
Yeah.
It's not great. It was mildly amusing just for testing the waters, but
I don't dislike it, but I think it would get boring pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm summoning patient.
okay.
Summon the patient. What?
Remember to use the
there you go.
mention
We must-
function, so he gets tinged.
We might have to wait a little bit because the summoning process for patient requires patience. So.
That was terrible.
Oh no! It
Hey,
worked out.
patient.
Oh, that was fast. Hey, what's up?
Ooh.
Your mic not be on.
Am I coming through?
Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
Works now.
Very good.
We're gonna be rolling a new show now.
Yeah.
All right.
Before we do that, patient, what did you think of this?
He didn't watch.
Oh.
Yes, I was busy with a job interview.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't really miss much, so it's cool.
Not really.
Not really.
It was nowhere near as fan servicey as we were expecting.
Well,
And that's probably the fault of the cover image that we saw.
Yeah, like I say, the one for the dub is actually really tame compared to the other one. Anyway.
Alrighty. Well, if that's the case, then it's time for your main event.
This is the main
Oh,
event. That's
boy.
actually kind of disappointing.
You know it's the main event because of last week.
Did you say 4, Kenchi?
I didn't say anything yet. So what we got is 19.
19. That's S.
Yes.
That's the longest one on the list. We
5
have
pages.
206.
Wow.
Oh
All right.
boy.
Yeah, it's the
Also-
only one that's over 200.
I don't even know what I
Moon,
want.
Samurai Champloo. School days.
Alrighty. So what we got is 87.
87 out of all those. Let's take a look. shall we?
Christ, Sakura's on this.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
And the winner is Shiki.
Cheeky.
Shiki.
Not familiar with that one, so hey, awesome.
Gosh, there's
Okay.
multiple pages to this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you were kidding when you said there was a ton.
Yeah. During a fiercely hot summer in Sotoba, a peaceful and quiet village with a population of 1,300 people, a series of bizarre deaths begin to occur. At the same time, a strange family moves into a long-abandoned mansion in the region. Hospital Dean Toshio Ozaki cannot figure out the cause of death in the deceased, initially suspecting an epidemic. As investigations continue between the hospital staff and the residents, it turns out that the village is being attacked by vampires. Okay,
Well,
that was
all
a
right.
very dry summary that took a turn, like, right at the end.
Let's hope the episode isn't like that. Those are the worst.
Has a different synopsis on my anime list, but basically it's adapted from a horror novel. Yeah, so that was a very dry summary, though.
Yeah, it went from house to vampires, literally on the last word.
It went from house to vampires in your house. Oh.
Mm.
Basically, there's a vampire disease outbreak, and things are going very wrong. Tags for it on my anime list are mystery, horror, supernatural, thriller, and also vampire. That's a genre, apparently.
It's a genre?
Shocker.
And yeah, it's...
I'm pretty sure the show won't match up quite to what the archetype for what's in the vampire genre is nowadays. So...
Yeah. According to comments, it is somewhat gory, but doesn't get really bad until the last episode.
As far as gore goes, or as far as content, anime-wise goes?
As far as gore goes. The story has that sense of a quiet town turned into a nightmare of a town. So, Silent Hill.
Woo! Love Silent Hill.
That's not a bad comparison to make. I'm the one making it, in fairness. That wasn't in the comments, but that's
gotcha.
the impression I get. Silent Hill or Twin Peaks, maybe. Either way.
So, yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yeah, it doesn't strike me as veto worthy.
Oh,
I'm
really?
not much of a horror person myself, but
Like, good horror is good. So, I like horror, so...
I
We'll see where
don't.
this
I don't
goes.
feel like a part of me is going to die inside if I watch this. So I don't
Yeah,
think
which
it's
is much
veto-worthy
better
either.
than a lot of the other choices we've gotten. over the years.
and also it comes in sub and dub on
It
the
does.
site.
Should we break down who's going to see what? Because I think it's a good idea that half.
Assigned seats.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I can
I-
go for the dub if you guys don't mind.
I'm usually favorable to a dub, so I'll watch a dub.
I'll-
I like the
I
sub.
prefer the sub.
Read the
personally.
subtitles really fast.
Likewise.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
why I prefer the
So
sub.
it's split with Kenchi in the middle. I guess I'll do whatever the hell I want then.
That
Yeah.
means you have to do both, actually.
I was going to say that, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Uh,
It
I'll tell you
probably
what.
makes sense to let the show put its best foot forward for whatever our preferences are when
Tell you what,
available.
I'll watch the first episode subbed, and if I like it, then I'll watch the second episode dubbed.
The
Like,
second
yeah, that'll work.
episode dub.
I only tend to watch anime that I really like dubbed, so yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I
You know what?
prefer-
Zero, does it say when this series came out?
Yeah, let me just bring up the page again. 'Cause I kind of closed it.
lets us know whether to even bother watching the dub, in fairness.
Oh yeah, just this might be good for reference. It was released in 2010.
Oh, okay. So it should be a decent dub, at least.
Yeah, 8 years ago, but gosh.
Hey, 2010 is after Gurren Lagann and all that stuff. So
Yeah, you got good dubs starting to come along around that time, so it's yeah.
Oh,
Alright.
and apparently Shiki translates literally as either corpse demon or death spirit. So, I didn't know that.
Cool.
yeah, it's I vaguely knew that because of Naruto. Shikifu and all that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
May have to incorporate that into Strong World somehow.
Oh yeah, Gold Lion Shiki. I forgot about that. That was his name.
Did you want me to spoil the sister thing now?
Oh right. Spoiler warning for anyone that actually wants to watch Onegai Twins.
Right.
Then. And I'll be bowing out for now. See you all next week. Thank you very much.
Bye, patient.
Bye, patient.
So who is it?
Okay, so the actual sister is the one that fainted. Shocker. The other girl is actually their next door neighbor from across the street. She finds a journal next door at some point in the series. And
okay.
which is good, because she's like, I want that dick about
Yeah,
4
she
episodes
is.
in.
Yeah, not subtle about it either.
4 episodes in.
It's,
See,
I don't know how many episodes exactly, but it's
was like
not many.
2 episodes in. Like after the second episode.
See, knowing that makes the whole thing feel much better in hindsight, in a weird way. Yet at the same time, it still feels bad.
It's still incest Russian roulette with your penis. I mean, there's no way to pretty that up.
Listen, it's fine because it worked out. Like, yeah, he played Russian roulette with his cock, but it's not like he blew his brains out or anything. The chamber was empty. It's fine.
How do you lose that? Do you just get your sister pregnant? Is that the losing scenario here?
Practical terms, if you're playing incest Russian roulette, really the best method is to take the hammer off of the gun, so to speak.
Ew. Ow. Ow.
Hey! Okay, I don't know whether you're understanding the metaphor. Getting the snip is what I'm referring to.
I know that, Casey. I got that much. Thanks, buddy.
I thought you meant like rapping. Okay.
No,
this
that's
conversation is
not
going.
what I meant. I'm glad
Okay.
patient left.
Well, everybody, goodbye and good night to all, and to all a good night. Get out of here.
I'm not done yet.
No, you are done. You're all done.
It's not over yet.
I didn't even get started. It's making insects and sex jokes. And Patient's gone, too, so he doesn't have to stuff.
See you, people.
Bye.
Next week,
Bye.
Shiki.